So I kind of I congratulate you. I mean, taking up the brain test no and the break it to but yes, a minimum say be opening remarks no be or how be can be or
I just want to say a big thank you to you in particular.
Yeah, that's it.
And your team.
Yeah, that's it.
Unfortunately, I did not get to listen, but there were a lot of people who called me and said that you were talking about me. This was around about November last year, when the issue of my appointment as Chief Executive Officer of Komfo Anorkye came up. I was not too surprised, and it was basically because I have always known what you and your team stand for. And honestly, I didn't think that you were doing it for Ademensa. But you were doing it for competence, you were doing it for posterity. You believe that the gentleman who had been named had what it takes to steer the affairs of the hospital. And I believe that that was what we were doing. And on that score, I want to say a big thank you to you. It was not only you, there were others who took up that task and felt that because the issue was whether or not Ofriha, but it's been 6 months now. In fact, 31st of May was exactly 6 months.
Oh, okay.
And it's been 6 months and 12 days. And since I took over the reins of office as the Chief Executive Officer of Komfo Anorkye Teaching Hospital, it's been very challenging, but rewarding and fulfilling. Kwame, when the appointment was made and I started 1st of December, I didn't think that it was going to be a walk in the park. I felt that it was an onerous responsibility, and I looked at it from several angles. There were a lot of people I spoke to. Now, for many of the people I spoke to, as a new man, and around this time going to take up an appointment and all that. But the overarching reason why me was because I felt that one, it was difficult to shine in bright light, and that in darkness even a spark of light will be able to I was certain that I could bring progress. People would see what I was bringing on board. And secondly, I'm the youngest Chief Executive Officer Komfo Anorkye has ever had. And I had the opportunity to state the case of many a young man, many a young woman, that it was possible for a younger man or a younger woman to handle an institution like Komfo Anorkye and still make progress and still help develop the place. It's been quite challenging, like I have said, but I have had the opportunity of working with some of the most dedicated staff you can get anywhere, some of the most dedicated directors and so on. But Komfo Anorkye has a staff strength of 5,300.
5,300.
We see around 366,000 patients every year. And you can imagine that if even 50 of the 5,300 are not aligned with you, you can imagine the challenge that poses. But like I said, God has been good. We have tried our very best. We are still trying. In the past 6 months, together, and I must say here, when I had my first debate with the staff, I told them, I didn't think that me as an individual, I had what it takes to turn the fortunes of Komfo Anorkye around. But I believe that if all of us put our shoulders to the wheel, with me leading, there was no way we were not going to achieve that which we set for ourselves. And I remember telling them, there's one question I seek, saying in our answer. Say, if all the hospitals in Accra were in Kumasi and you were unwell, and you had the opportunity to choose which hospital I was here, will it be Komfo Anorkye? Of course, there are people who would not choose Komfo Anorkye, not because Komfo Anorkye yet, but because there's an equally good hospital. He probably has a family relative or a friend working there, or for convenience. And except for those and others who fall into that kind of category. Not until we have about 95% or more of the people working in Komfo Anorkye choosing Komfo Anorkye as baby was here, what it meant was that we had failed. And gradually we are getting there, Kwame.
Okay. Well, I be say me can just say me my country more. Bro from your doors.
Smile when I knew that was what was going on. Yeah, that's it.
But on a normal day,
right,
as the CEO for a teaching hospital like Komfo Anorkye, what do you do? Yeah, now
the chief executive officer is responsible for the day-to-day running of the hospital and reports to a board.
Okay.
Well, I have 7 directors, and then there are deputy directors, and then you have heads of various directorates in the personal heads of department, and then you have in the directorates, or the head. Then you have the nurse manager, you have a pharmacist, you have who form the management team. Basically, Adebia Ekoso, a hospital, under my direction, or is supposed to be under my direction. On a Monday, usually when I get to the office, like I said, very early in the morning, my appointments usually would start from maybe at 9 o'clock, but between 7:30 and 9, walk-ins. There are people who would come in, want to see you and all that, but there are a lot of documents you need to work with. And I am not the typical CEO who would want to sit in his chair and be reported to. And for a lot of people at Komfo Anorkye, because on a regular basis. In fact, in a week, the minimum number of times I make round the entire hospital maybe are 2, but sometimes 3, sometimes every day in the week from Monday through to Friday. Now, my director of pharmacy, medical director, director of nursing, I've told them, say it's a sin to sit in your office for more than 3 hours. After 3 hours, my expectation is that you go out there, go around to your operational areas, go to the wards, go to the consulting rooms, go to the pharmacies, and quite apart from ensuring that there's management presence within the hospital around the clock, what it also does is the gap between management and the staff, you close it, because one of the things me call Komfo Anorkye staff at a day by Omokai say it appears as though there's a gap between management and the staff, but so far I think that has changed. Then if it's a Tuesday, usually we have our management meetings on Tuesday around 10 o'clock, from 10 o'clock till about 2 at the latest, and then we are done with the management meeting. Sometimes there are meetings that are scheduled, and it's a meeting after that or before that, and to basically go around, see to it that the things that have to be done are done.
Talking about what staff, or only staff in relationship to saying,
I think that I have the best of relationship with my staff. It is not to suggest that Makwa could do, but it doesn't matter if the person is a cleaner, it doesn't matter if the person is a consultant, it doesn't matter if he's a nurse, an accountant, and I'm sure that say wow small for a Mamoko hospital, if there's one thing they will say about me, my accessibility and the camaraderie exists between me and the staff, irrespective of or more level or more. And I worked in pathology for some time, you are aware, for 2 years. And whilst there, me who sebi esikafo and sebi ehiafo, me who penny and inkra, a man and member. Omo ye nipa sebi titru ni omo sebi omo nye etitru, no munyina ewu ebiem metra Patasi estate, and the circumstances of my birth and the kind of things I've had to do and near my film and such that into my own pija wabeti Kwame me catch na no that say me maton ade obodi da
yeah
maton amonchin maton kerosene maton ahwedie ni nyina bi when you have gone through such a process and virtually every school fees of yours o ma meton ntama ana say na gudie bi ena di kotua untimi mmema ho so ushia obia angel unia say do so say adwuma ne de bia one of nyema me tai kapa say God is not always a merciful God. Sometimes he's a consuming fire. Into do bra was say esre a yebesre. You do bra was say edija guma edija beguma. Me nyina mu.
Because what is Obika say a new CEO no o puti fear e won adwuma from the workers mu a.
Well, I don't think that it would be a good description of me.
But is that what you the way on
no. What it says here, say I go around all the time. Me call no be a na also yeah. I give them pats on the back. There are instances I'm go for mu yeah juma na makase we ento lunch in realm. There have been instances I'm on a weekend. Makoto and Komfo trying to tell them so they are doing a good job. Oh, boss ni kra say 1 cedi, say 2 cedi. Yak money fanya lunch. I don't think that so be a odi ehun ewura o staff mu. Ombetimi ni wanya sa enkita ho no. Enti na me ka say me gidi say sa wo o staff be free ha. No mo call. No mo interact with anybody they come across. I'm sure that Nima Obetipa yes he's very accessible. And yes we hard almost so. But Juma also you know obey.
Obi anyina Juma obe manaye.
Oh yes. Kwame. The bia meka say for all of us aye Juma on. Ye ma school fees. Ye rent.
Yeah.
Aduane ayi be di the next meal ayi be nya no.
Sure.
Nipa na oba ho no. Say sika na ode ba no. Eno na ultimately ye di be etua oka. Into any client who walks into the hospital who say o school fees na erem no. Who say o rent in erem no.
Angel.
Who say o next meal na erem no. How will you treat your rent? How will you treat Oma school fees? How will you treat your next meal? That should determine how you will treat the client who comes in to Komfo Anorkye.
Okay. We'll take you over Komfo Anorkye you know. And never been who you were not happy with.
Kwame, me could do Komfo Anorkye. One of the significant or remarkable things I mean here, ne apathy. Say
apathy near Brofokasa.
I ne tree na me can. Say I say o ebe gbongu
na ye menye
ai so abaya juma ebio me who said there was indeed a gap between management and the staff. Me say who say and indeed and crowd the security agencies look at one say one of the major issues I have to contend with yes say staff are ewo ho omufri KNUST ene Komfo Anorkye na ya akwa say yimu bem. Kwame, my ejuma Komfo Anorkye before now.
Yeah.
Me call medical school okay university na yetete me Komfo Anorkye na yetete me. Na no kure say at the time now who the difference between obi free KNUST eba and obi o Komfo Anorkye. But e be drew brebia na emu acheche saa we Komfo Anorkye we KNUST ni yeah Komfo Anorkye for but gradually it was to the extent say we free KNUST now occupy a certain position even so HOD well now obi free Komfo Anorkye no also occupy a similar position allowance and the KNUST ni so a chain the Komfo Anorkye ni but many management now say you know ni na about to the conclusion say the expectations we have of KNUST near or HOD no. It is same expectations and your war. And it is a coco basse. Oh my way teku. No my way simple. Now the chichemu ebem. They call me board and me board could do me board tiasia. And quite apart from see increasing more allowances as a means of motivating them. They say making sure say occupy a particular position or allowance are now being the same as and Komfo occupy similar positions. In this anima and of course so be kaya many would do home if doctors flats and so any nurses blocking
sure
na sefem kakra the state na sa buildings no ewum
I want a doctor for it.
I want a doctor for it. Say a lot of the time so oh yes ye bibia na enye patient area so when any pa sebi impreduasa or tiniama se pa na ya say oh we dey share there directly impact on patients but nipa na oba be patient no so baby or 10 year see am so in a hospital no and we share patient and you start to say eto the laptop see the desks the tables so one them ni dan na eliki
obeda nya sound mind
exactly
e dey na adwuma
so and inti these are some of the things me call hono me hunu ye
and how come Kwame na fast so doctors flat or the other areas but who say what started
the plenty area
more paint here Kwame na fast
Kwame when you are given a position like this you leverage on the relationships you have, the networks you have.
Okay.
Anybody bring oha, omunya nkombe, but obi akra ma mebusa hom. But also what I say Inti I leveraged on ayonkofa eda me nanfo no montem. Ene the links are almost so wo. Inti se me nim Kwame Tanko. Na Kwame Tanko nim despite. No nim say despite e adoye. Inti me nam Kwame Tanko so. Makwa ko hu despite. Maka chen say die tienie and people have been very responsive. News for no minimum.
Yeah.
So be produce am to mo paint that. Me madam for be a friend Eric Asante. Me the botanist. And me catch no. In fact, me the photos, any videos of the facility share. No say
it was bad. It was very, very bad.
And also okay on your mobile casa. And so mama me impa on unko be faba ko no aye. That is how it started.
Until Omo take over.
I'm take over.
Akabako.
Oh, the very big one, blue building.
Yeah.
Almost next year. But with your support, I'm sure see a bit paint here no this year. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Now,
I think for today,
here no free musanaka 2 nurses blocks. And also so what doctors flats area on your right. Abrunsan akese mienu e tennis court ne enchen ho ni mienu and a blue one nti sa me nsen and aka wo sa enclave mo ha e wo se hwe ho asem.
Okay, are there any challenges this year of facility hospital now?
Okay, Kwame, Komfo Anorkye was built in 1954. From 1954 BC ne it has seen no major renovation. And sometimes there are photos so when you boswa na you catch yourself Komfo Anorkye I have a teaching hospital any referrals from 12 out of the 16 regions in Ghana.
Ask 12 regions.
Yes.
Komfo Anorkye 7 12 regions.
Yes.
Wow.
What I say. And that is a major challenge. Now no kre any say manya kwenya ni kurura akasa. Kwame who say next year 25th anniversary of the king. Enti the here say you betimi ahwe se beboabo nipa no na ya renovate sa old block no. But we use our old block in Sufrima and he might be in fact just before I came here I mean Teflon edin komo hwe akwanya e betimi amfa so a papa betimi aba beboa.
Okay.
Ti en hwe say dialysis machines say ye a center bi e betimi asi na nipa atimi aba ho aba benya ayaresa nti Kwame at the appropriate time say yura ema yakwan would launch it onwa kan say o person onwa kura betenem no launch it nti osuru asantemanra na yahwe near renovate as part of the 25th anniversary celebration.
Who take interest in the new is it maternity block?
Maternity block, yes. Yes.
Who take interest, correct?
Yeah. Nese minu the reason why work as told. It is about 62 to 70% complete. But with IMF dealings
yeah.
I'm hopeful say enche the workers would be back.
You man speed already by this time.
We're all hoping say Kasana Kebe. But for the challenge and can me jidi se bring here.
Falsification of document,
right,
and extortion,
right.
The last time it was in the news, say your good office suspended an officer. I accuse you of Sanima Mabuzui.
Kwame, it's regrettable. Tessa we say the a barbon thing. No crane say the intention was not for the public to consume that information.
It was an internal
say. Of course, the fact that 2 people have been suspended on extortion, that is fine. But the point I'm making is as management and as a hospital, that is not what we sought. Komfo Anorkye say direction na yekono patient-centered friend is saying health care provision. Inti adibia this patient is at the core. Na only be adwin say enima bi wo honma a good hospital no ehun fi say obi aba hospital na yese ontu ateku anase simpoa na obi so a doctor so a nurse so a lab scientist agisika every ni pakro no ho emfa ne say na hospital bill ni 1300 na doctor na nurse anase lab scientist anase whoever agi emfa say 2000 na 3000 free no ho we answer near the hospital bill na brain say the hospital bill 1300 except in produce and so the area Komfo Anorkye operating na sabi nipa sika be brain bottom doors, and a lot of the time sabi here for at the receiving end of Sanima we say, and there is a need for us to purge Komfo Anorkye of sa narrative no Komfo Anorkye the okona oni sika, and I want to believe that over the past 6 months and it is because we are going very tough on indiscipline and misconduct. In the say basu BIS tortisika and answer in kika hono. So oh my asotia, you can be certain say bedi hunjuma.
So boss, you're telling us that your good officers
right.
Yang as citizens
right.
Yeah, if you like bow for service.
Right.
We bet you rely on them.
Yes, I'm telling you, sir. I have 5,300. Unfortunately, the narrative I about Montine, nipa bako, and nipa mienu bi adi bi omaye.
Yeah.
And then there's a generalization. But I have absolutely no doubt that a large number of the people who work at Komfo Anorkye, integrity means the world to them. And inti enima bi wo honoma, unya omo se omo beye sa niema. There's a good friend of mine. He was my mate in school, Michael Adinku.
Yeah.
He's a general surgeon. Fantastic. Dr. Alabi, deputy medical director. Get into the hospital and ask the people. Professor Samson Entry, Professor Nchukusi. So, they give us hope that direction na yekono. Ibe draw. And inti say BBSC. There's a quality assurance office.
Okay.
And Ubusa quality assurance for now, they have been strengthened. And it says BBIC as our reports are no more neko. And Omushimwa who are involved, number from we are normally the report about, or the management considers it and then takes a decision. In certain instances, you have a disciplinary committee, but the disciplinary committee is a committee of the board. So, in the no management, yes, yeah, but they are called a step higher. They call disciplinary committee. It be me a UAD, it be me a warning, and in your mic, depending on what the offense is.
Okay. The last time me pictures and circulated and wako
right.
Santa Maria on
right.
Odo honko cheno.
Aye. Kwame, ne was saying KC da sabi me share adwuma na 1st of December.
Yeah.
Because adena me me honko chire no and am penifo de me ko chire no. Na exactly 6 months. 31st of May.
Oh, check.
Aye. But better late than never.
Sure.
Na enema bi ewom. It will be a na say when any available. It will be a na so two coin. And sometimes it is what it is.
Okay.
But the good news is that before the makwa kochre Ikrura, and it was refreshing. Abra Okrura kasa di bia we bia damani.
Who be bia?
Osi oni nyina ye nanim asem.
And all buy you know it be 6 months.
Onim pa. Se me call ye na anche na o mampanyi his excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo e ba ho obehwe patient. Ade eche no ne Krura so ba behwe sa patient na. I was very lucky to have met.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I see.
Within 2 days, and I think it was in the first month.
Wow.
I may call Komfo Anorkye. Subsequently, I also had the opportunity to meet the king privately.
Okay.
Na na me kai se me catch on he said niwa adwuma na adi so wo be ye minim so betimi haye and it near the amount no ko and sometimes what na say na odwene sa enema ne ho a even when you are tired you don't want to go on because what you say enipa na e wa rehyehyemu ewo mu no edoso Kwame, can you imagine what would have happened? Some call Komfo Anorkye na dwumadi e wo se meeting ni wo Kwame no na be what will happen to you? What will people say about you?
Because you be saying you advocate say
exactly
you know what is in this
sometime I've never met him.
Okay.
I
see.
Me kasa wo phone so about 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay.
It was the first time I such an encounter. But I was told sometime if I'm CV or share no or can want some on air. Say nipa we won't me anya Komfo Anorkye yempe bruni bi ne mfama na onya. And for me that statement was deep. They know the makwaku sini say I was representing sebi preduas and nkofo a omo CV etese me de no anase omo de no eye below me de no say entise wo entimi anya
when you
enye na chese those in academia omo here from professor omo here from doctor ene nkeka ho no sebi preduas no me demand hwamo. And every day that statement rings in my head. Every day.
Maybe where you want to see Komfo Anorkye in the next foreseeable future.
Right.
But Ceciano, what only a board at the same time to say?
Oh, Kwame, tell me, catch it. Say the chief executive officer reports to the board.
Angel.
There's a board meeting every month.
Okay.
And at those meetings, there are subcommittees of the board presentations in Nkeka. I've enjoyed a very good working relationship with the board. There are particular individuals I can single them out for mention. Lawyer Masopo Kwajimai, for example, has been phenomenal. Drew, no, what a friend is saying. Ghana School of Law,
okay.
Makola.
Okay.
No, director or an registrar, but he was the boss there.
Okay.
Very enterprising. Who said Komfo Anorkye old block no? He led the board through private donations to paint it.
Okay.
So when you have such people, Sister Emily, my board is chaired by Nanifa Painting. and Abom Patine. On one deputy chief of staff. Mensha.
To no board and tell me a come up.
Yes.
No, means that and you we know, a hina pese, Utumi Pijak, Komfo Anorkye Teaching Hospital, and he could do. Now, watching a never cassette, a certain professor be by. Now, Komfo Anorkye to say, but the core. Where, you know, about the Komfo Anorkye.
Call me that. So, if you have time to go through this document, into Ahasea. A1 labor ward, the present situation, the future situation visualized.
Okay.
And one of the major things we want to do, you basi dying, you see units are for running in Kekahon.
Okay, and I screen so no.
But sir, old block no will always serve as the foundation. Yeah, the nipa beko. In fact, the never call as emergency hall near Shewa. If we are near the call wards no. And in say is accidents and emergency hall. And I see is family medicine area or poly hall. Near we na being word na a receptacle. Say you are do beko no a honya. Music say na anyi. And in terms of infrastructure, the women isu Sabri Kwame have a 2-year mandate. And on the 1st of January 2025, I'll be going back to the university. So I'm here on secondment. Within those 2 years, say a block back now I compare favorably with any hospital block anywhere in the world. I think that would have set ourselves up for progress and for development. The narrative. So we need to be a Komfo Anorkye. Komfo Anorkye now need to be. Gradually we are dealing with it. The administration say patients, clients would have so much confidence in Komfo Anorkye, and that at any point in time, so being here healthcare, I was a tertiary facility. Komfo Anorkye will be the preferred destination. Indeed, they said the American was a staff official in America. If all the hospitals in Accra are in Kumasi, this will be here in Busan say Yemfaniko here. The administration say Ipadodo na because Yemfaniko Komfo Anorkye, and will be because of the quality of service. Obenya. It will be because of customer care, customer relationship. Because you see, Nipa Sebi or Yare no Obadia, and so see he's your customer. So Ochinabino, Yababedu baby hospitals say doors. There are hospitals that are also providing specialist care, but of course, Komfo Anorkye will always be there. And the Kwa Kusia and Ebeba. And I'm looking forward to the day when people will have choices, and yet, Omobekase, so Yaria, Yemfaniko Komfo Anorkye.
Music as I'm saying.
Kwame, compensation, salaries. To do one no abine it here, but the Akebia internally generated funds.
One generate this
Ubia hospital, a charging or row and it's an kick home. Ubi also national health insurance. National health insurance this kind of bar and no together with the for cash or mutia and no near the boy hobra. Na the Biameka, Mrs. Ye Jai Komfo Anorkye se. Komfo Anorkye se sikana ni emfa mo ye hobra. Ni amwaye ho, especially in a service of radio and bibi when some bit media bono. Kwame, no matter how rich you are, and ne so yaria the business say I just say you do back Komfo Anorkye, especially if you are within our environment. You stabilize you declare say unye flight risk and sana etimi do wako hospital bia upe bia usika bitimi do wako bia. And we owe it a duty to ourselves and to posterity to ensure say Komfo Anorkye be position wo baby a say ehun hia se yemfa yenko ho a se ekwa de wo se yemayen ye betimi aye.
Still private involvement that to say
Kwame back kakra there's on say Komfo Anorkye is supposed to be providing a 24-hour specialist care. Now to be able to do that, say specialists, senior specialists and consultants in eba also munya baby etna. There's an old block it was meant for a Niamasa. Sometimes I hear now because the officer didn't go for but how does that affect patient care? Because a doctor no abanopa, but he's supposed to be there. So the issue of office space becomes a challenge. That project, the last estimate of me, 11 million.
Was it completed?
Debbie,
another one
complete.
Oh, okay.
And what I have done, they say, I hear a friend is saying, structure integrity test. It has passed. Papa be a mini permission. Say me boni din say roofing no. Say you could do roofing no, baby roofing in na dia mai.
Okay.
Say you say adofo be mo. Ni etimi a complete our building. Once that is done, there will be no excuse. Say me bahwa minya baby ntina. But just what did they mention? Aha. Those are some of the things. And private individuals say kasania hwe emwa ombetimi aba. No kra ne say kasi ijadi we nyina ma bansa aban meya. Aban ko ntimi, especially given the present economic circumstances. Adofo ebe kwaye mwa ebeboa. In fact, nipa na oka so obe roof so no. The board chair ene kokasa ye. And he leveraged on his relationship with him and got him to agree. Says yesia oba be boss amai.
And then they say what blockade the access to social media.
Okay.
At the same time, washroom my walk visitors back on as we used to payment or make it where you free home. Then another one to see me and Kasa personally. Me challenge me also. I was not having cash on me, but I had a lot on my Momo wallet. And not check that time you were not the CEO. I'd wanted to make payment through Momo. It became a problem, Kakra.
Okay.
Maybe you have to pay to somebody for somebody to. I mean, we waited till the next day and then I got cash in there, baby. Now, these are some of the things that yes, why?
Kwame, for the past 14 years. I think Abribia Ubeba Hospital Hospital uses our washrooms in this Utieska. 50 pesos. Now management trans and we ask ourselves, say so Nipana Emma say be yem need to and into Oba Hospital. Let's say obey use washroom no 5 times. We are saying that on each occasion.
On Tia.
Elsewhere, if you want to take a leak or a dump, the oil say McDonald's are no akura. You must she one can go to you and impo. No aku use. It's a tenancy who say sebi bread yasa say your cost wa Jesus kana. And yet there have been people in the hospital that don't make one say but man took that bold decision and decided that near Baby Drew baby Sadine it was a the challenge I near one is say yeah go for free baby no more sometimes distracting the provision of healthcare and for patients at Eba Hospital by all means you are given a card, you are given a receipt that is dated. Would you honor the child? No could use it for free. I think that I know a more dignifying. A chance say Bemase will be into 50 pesos each time or be used to. Now can access to phones.
Yeah.
No crane say on the hospital system, it is now not possible for Ubi say obey TikTok, Facebook, NSA and your money and the basis here say there have been several reports even before me call not only from Komfo Anorkye but from other places say a lot of the time I was say Ubi a patient and Nancy Bibino and the concentration. A friend is saying, so TikTok and now Facebook, in due time, we were extended to mobile phones. We are still in talks with the companies that are concerned, and we hope see Bidruho and now will come more payments. In fact, the first official meeting I had as Chief Executive Officer was on the 14th of December.
Okay.
Mene Julian or the MD for Fidelity. What's a Fidelity for Nejiji Isikan? And I'm catching saying in this day and age, it's unthinkable. So we'll be about hospital. no so tuane na a car there no to be use mobile money and a POS and fentia. If there is anything I require of them, yes sir, you be possible so beat me a bill using Momo and as a POS, then so card, debit card, and as a BB out the bano de ultimately the measure and says me one crime. Not touch with me offer say, and I mean you be agenda to confirm not near discharge now. I was some one crime on meet me tia bill no mano. Na me we are myself for Uber mano na Uber about befano near na kofie. Without me necessarily having to come from Accra to Kumasi. Yeah. And as I say, Kumasi, meeting, it should be possible for me to do that. And in the 51st of March, some Momo payments, no, any POS system, no, was activated. But what we have noticed, yes, sir, whilst you are at the hospital, but remotely, you are
not at the premises owner.
And today, and say last Friday, the MD called me. He sent the home come. He sent a team down to Mount Baba na afe because he was code. I beat me near to Esikano at the atum. And come on air coso between the 1st of March and the 4th of May until the whole of March, April, and 4 days in May, the total payments and then go for aye using Momo. Any a friend is saying a POS no 700,000 Ghana cedis. Okay. Now adia ma many just adia no one say it reduces human interface. What I say into electronic into be nyiska no akan and our receipt and then keka home. The hands benya a reference. So by hospital no reference number into utia now why is our reference no. I am certain that within the next month or two we would have finalized it such that no be a whole episode tia will be timid tia. Kwame das.
Arrangement on the Ghana Post for you in terms of Korea.
They tell me say there are some patients on medication for some chronic illnesses, hypertension, diabetes, and in sometimes or prescription for 6 months. By money 2 months there. After 2 months no asabaje. After 2 months no asabaje. Now, my culture will say we see about 1,000 patients on the average every day.
Yeah.
And it is a nipa no oba, then it's a prescription nkwa no oba begia. Say nipa chrono. If it was possible, say obetina baby or no a fee at the beginning of the year. Now, at every time I was saying didn't know command Kuya Edibekwa, I'm sure that many people will be happy. It saves them the trouble of having to come all the way from baby Ote to Komfo Anorkye. And then again, so I did long queue so. Yes, sir. Say be more acute illnesses. Here's a delays ebem. And to what management decided, yes, the first point of call was Ghana Post for obvious reasons. Ghana Post has been revamped. But Saomukuri also my top cycles are Kofobi brain in Kikao. And we have entered into an agreement with Ghana Post. The people are supposed to just indicate that they want that kind of service, and then the drugs will be served them in the comfort of their homes.
Always say, Kwame, I tell Prof for me, I've always loved listening to him, even when I don't share his opinions. He's an outstanding person. I'm always careful doing any kind of talks with him. He's a great communication person. I wish him all the best. I mean, he said the type of one. And I do it by
Apple, a friend said,
Cora. No, so dear. As son of a cancer, I don't know, friend Thomas, the doubting Thomas.
Apple, a guy.
It's a very happy. I don't pay Yamia Dom Professor Dr. Ochre Diamond sir. Yeah, well, you see you ever Komfo Anorkye Teaching Hospital and pay
Angel
na Doka Cheyeng and Yamamu Bebre. You say you are Bebre ho. Yeah, because I none of the team no mommy pressure fine. Yentemo doc prof and see
I have a long marathon meeting drawn up.
Okay.
Me share staff in the bo say every quarter.
Okay.
would have a DEBA. Every
Staff
quarter.
DEBA.
Yes. Every quarter. Directorate be a obsessive gynecology, it is 488. Well, it be a 375 and then kick home. But every quarter, all the union leaders, every quarter, directorate be a management team, normally be a 7 and answer 5. Here. First quarter I met them. This is the second quarter. All the union heads have been met, and it's agendaless. What are the issues? What is the feedback? Also, sometimes there's asymmetry of information. So the decisions we take to a large extent are based on information. So, and here may take a decision be. Baby, I want to know some information now. Me take his decision. No. Until I have no one here. See, she has here for them to criticize the things we have done, proper solutions for problems, any challenges are here. Here we take a decision together. Until from 9:30 to 3:30, I'll be meeting the directorates, about 5 or 6 of them, 1 hour each, 1 hour. Until we open ourselves up to them. Omonka enema omususu ekoso ebia ofusu enye ebia omususu ye koso nhemu kena ade bia emfa eni nkoso. Kwame, it is only in doing that in the move Komfo Anorkye forward. Se koko yes nipa baako and our management ti baby staff ni ti baby, Komfo Anorkye will see no progress. At the end of the day, and no our system now you put in place in any beba. Kwame emfa we nso so. On a particular Thursday in March at 2 a.m., I was at Komfo Anorkye with my first daughter. She wasn't well. I left Komfo Anorkye at 5:30. And whilst I sat, I did my dream and said, so if I should pretend over an inefficient system, and I'm at the receiving end of that system, that is what challenges me. That is what gives me the motivation. Sebi, Utre Dubonia. And you may not know. And on that occasion I was present, but there will be an occasion. And the system see the system no be go through. Will I be proud?
Prof, some of us say kasa bi o ya na more or less yes you know, it do maybe and of course it is because of Nima Inimu some of us you take it time on our radio and can on some and I was talking about Nipa Nyamia Shedamo certain gifts.
Me too.
I tell you, you're one of them.
Hey, you're far too kind.
I'm telling you, you're one of them. You see, Matthias is here. I don't know. So a 2-year mandate. Maybe.
Yes.
I'm telling you. Today's date is what?
The 12th of June.
One record it is only umpe. So betwaso. As the CEO of Komfo Anorkye. But so open. Now person twaso. Ghana for betwaso. Because you see, what started here near maybe. Now some of us you may say each and every blessed day be Komfo Anorkye. They be either sometimes you me trouble my fro hey prof officer your territory like that and I talk to security guards bumper made me dance I talk to them a lot sometimes me jina and we didn't come sometimes me record binum workers nurses near there me record binum all in the name say me say Nipa na me championing for him no. Is he living up to expectation?
Kwame, and you are not alone in this. When him say me the people your age. Now when she got there, no introducing the boss to Bonidin and say we're related to Professor Demens and the Nico Komfo Anorkye and not in Pacha. No say yeah. And so when me be if you didn't come on no say yaw and Komfo share no.
Oh yes.
Now the confidence a lot of people have in you.
Exactly.
Look.
Exactly.
You can't let them down.
Yes.
Now, like I have said, Kwame, in my wildest imagination, me no didn't come up
Bebre.
I had never thought about Komfo Anorkye.
Yeah, the question is any.
That's what I say. Yes. But do you know how I see this whole Komfo Anorkye arrangement? And I hope that we take for better masi. I see it as quote unquote a trap. How? I have the opportunity to demonstrate what I am made of. My value. And that Ochina, if there's an opportunity anywhere, your stewardship at Komfo Anorkye, and Komfo Anorkye can make or unmake me.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
And like a springboard.
Yes, fortunately or unfortunately, Kwame, I'll tell you my age. I was born on the 6th of March, 1975. I'm 48 years. I am too young to do certain kinds of things. And you may be a quenya say opportunity be a
now I can say because of the acquired Komfo Anorkye money di
Kwame, I'm very conscious of that. But my mother will interact to Kwame, because I was born on the 6th of March 1975. Ghana birthday is 6th March 1957. Also than 57 now 75. Look, I'm very religious. I'm very spiritual. Do you know what I believe? I believe that per chance, so Ghana a direction be that's our direction ninya. I have a role to play so far as turning around.
Yeah.
So our fortunes in the air. I don't think that it was for nothing. In the home 6th of March. You will know Komfo Anorkye answers.
Well, on behalf of all of us, we wish you well. I know you succeed.
Empire.
Empire to the a chance to the Ebemba because you didn't come up with crazy.
Bishop Odrusapo.
Oh, okay. Bishop.
He's the big brother I never had.
Bishop there.
Hearing him, he would criticize you. So we are the now in here. And I love him for that.
Yes.
Eventually, my friend was so serious. It's now dodgy he's one of the people I hold in very high esteem.
Okay.
Kwame, that's what I want. That's what I need. And be bold to tell me. I love to be criticized. Criticized constructively. Where there's the need for me to make changes, those changes will be done as long as it depends on me. Now, Kwame, on a lighter note, 5,300 in our house. And this is a new 2 and answer 3 cry and go phobia. Also, meet me as you.
Okay.
It takes grace. So, what did the original say? And there be a more bumpire, Mr. Mubi Mame. Namuntias said, Komfo Anorkye is a shared responsibility.
Sure.
And yeah, them in Sanquadia. That's it.
Maybe be assumed more bum.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I don't pay penny out this menino. You didn't come up. A special guest. A Professor Dr. Ochre Adai Mensa and an operative menino. You didn't come up. And you didn't come on in your banner. Most definitely. You best sign any doc share professional repem but the can say Yankopon on Sharon on Canona.